Hello Stanwich, your favorite chef here again. We're going to do a simple tres leche cake, something that would be forthcoming for the Cinco de Mayo celebrations coming up. In a large bowl, you're going to mix together, or whisk together if you will, the flour. We've got the baking powder and the salt. Okay, I'm just going to bring this together. Real easy peasy. Just to get those incorporated. In the next bowl, we're going to put together the sugar, the egg yolks, which are separated, okay, from the whites, obviously. And we scrape those down. And we are going to do something called the creaming mixing method, okay? This is just taking sugar and egg yolks together until they form just ribbons, okay? It's going to take probably about 3 minutes or so. So we'll cut back to this in a bit, and then we're going to add the vanilla right towards the end, just until they come out like ribbons. We'll show you what comes up next. Okay, so we're about 2 minutes into this, and this is called the creaming mixing method, okay? And you get nice little ribbons. See the ribbons starting to appear? This is a basic cooking technique. This is a great job for one of the kids to do. And there we go. Now we're going to add the vanilla. Incorporated, we're on to the next step. You can either use the same mixer or go to a stand mixer if you have it. We're going to take the egg whites and the sugar, the remaining quarter cup of sugar, which you'll see in the recipe, and we're going to combine them. What I like to do, just so we don't wear this, all right, inside the house here, so I don't have to wear it all over my shirt, is we're going to start these egg whites up, and I like to put a little plastic wrap around the bowl to keep it from going everywhere. It's going to get loud in here, so we're going to let this go for about 2 to 3 minutes. So we come up with soft peaks. We're at the point now where we're about 3/4 of the way through with the whipping process of the egg whites. We're going to add the remaining quarter cup of sugar, right, to come up with almost like a meringue, if you will, until they come into stiff peaks, like semi-stiff peaks, for about another 20 seconds or so. And that's about 20 seconds. So we've got this into almost, meringue-like, if you will, okay? All right, so now we're going to add to our dry ingredients the egg yolks that we have creamed together, or vice versa, I guess, if you will. Doesn't really matter. We'll put the yolks and the sugar that we've creamed together. Look how nice that held up, okay? Beautiful. All right. Going into our dry ingredients. We're going to combine these ingredients at very low speed, get them together. We're going to add our butter and our milk to the dry ingredients. And hopefully I won't wear this too much. We'll see what happens here. It's starting to come together. So that's our batter for the cake. And what's going to lighten it up, you don't want to overmix it, you don't want to develop any so-called gluten, if you will. We just get it so it combines together. We're good. So now we're going to fold in our egg whites that we already had beaten into our soft peaks, and that's our batter that's ready to roll. So I'm going to, and the folding, you don't want to go crazy with it, okay? What I like to do is I like to introduce a little bit, about half of it, and then I want to make like a star pattern in the middle of the bowl, okay? And look what's happening here, okay? You're just kind of folding, and I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to try to tip this, but I'm going from the middle of the bowl to the outside and rolling it over. I'm exaggerating now, okay? And it's looking really good, almost like a souffle. And then we're going to get the rest of this in here. And this is going to be dynamite. And your family and whomever you're spending time with these days is going to love this. And then we're going to continue folding the rest of this. What I like to do, that initial introduction is like, how do you do? That's the first third of the egg whites. And that just kind of gets everybody used to being together, kind of like a mingle, if you will. We don't want to do that right now. But you can see how this is kind of souffle-like. And if you can see this, my camera angles aren't that great, but I think you got the idea, all right? And then we'll just kind of pull this all together, all right? And there we have it. That's our batter. But hold one second. This is the important part, okay? You do have to give this a little spray, all right? No stickies. I'll put this up here. And then, here we go. And I think we're going to have something really nice on the outer end of this. All right. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate your hanging in there with us. And we're a little crude around the edges, but we get it done. Okay, I hope you're enjoying. And then we'll see you on the other side. Next part of the equation is preheated oven, 350 if you don't have convection. If you have a convection oven, 325. I always like to go 25 degrees lower with a convection oven. People say, things don't come out right, chef, and we're just 30 minutes out and we should have it, okay? We'll try 30 minutes. We're going to take a look after about 20 and just double check, okay? So chef, why do they call it tres leche cake? Well, there's 3 different types of milk. We've got evaporated milk, condensed milk, and milk. And then we're going to go with a 4th milk, actually. We're going to put whipping cream or heavy cream over the top. So we basically have, for the filling, is a 14-ounce can of evaporated milk. And then, bear with me, let me grab my spatula here. We have sweetened condensed milk, which is a 12-ounce can. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Hopefully these are things you have in your pantry. Just kind of scrape that out a little bit and work your magic. Okay. And then we have a half a cup of milk that goes in there. Those are the 3 milks, tres leche, if you will. And let's get rid of this. And you just kind of whisk this together. Really, this is a no-brainer. All right, just real easy peasy. Get these 3 to combine as best you can without making a mess. And this will be put aside till later when the cake comes out of the oven. I'll show you the technique of how to get this applied to the cake, which makes it the magic that it is. And we're back. We're going to do the next segment of this cake by putting the fork. We got to make some holes in order to get this thing to drink the milk, if you will. We're just going to go kind of crazy here. This is a great job for the kids. As many as you can get in here. And it doesn't really look like it's going to take all the contents of what we have here, but it will. All right, and then look at that. Here we go. It's going to take a drink. It's going to start going down through the holes, right? And believe it or not, this whole thing is going to drink this up overnight. Okay? We're going to put it to bed in the refrigerator. See you in the morning. Okay, we're back for the final assembly of our tres leche cake. Simple ingredients, heavy cream. We're just going to make a little whipped cream topping for it, and then we're going to sprinkle it with a little cinnamon sugar. So we've got a pint or 2 cups of heavy cream going into our mixer. Okay, I like to use a little plastic wrap around the mixer. It keeps some those little droplets from going all over your cupboards. Okay. We also have a quarter cup, I'm sorry, of granulated sugar, and we're going to just add a little bit of honey in there to complete our theme. We've got a quarter cup of honey going in as well. Okay. And we'll wrap this up. I don't know about you, but this has a tendency to get all over the place on me. So this little trick seems to work. Just make sure you're away from the beaters with your plastic wrap. Raise the bowl. Just fix the skirt here a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, just till we get stiff peaks, we're going to basically frost the cake real simple and a little bit of cinnamon and sugar over the top. The cinnamon sugar consists of, I think you got a tablespoon of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. And we mix that together. Okay? Just kind of blend it up with a little spoon. Okay, at this point we have stiff peaks. We're going to shut this down. Is going to go over the top of the cake, and we're just going to smooth it out a little bit. Real simple. Man, there's nothing like fresh whipped cream. Don't settle for those canisters if you can help it. I think my wife agrees.
Absolutely.
She loves strawberry shortcake. All right, so we'll just take a little offset palette knife, or a straight palette knife, or even just a spoon or a knife, doesn't really matter. Just kind of work it. First we'll work it into the edges. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, okay? These are just simple times right now. And we just want some good little treats here and there. All right, we'll just kind of get this going back and forth. Doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. All right, we'll just bring this into the edges. Okay. And one more time. Get this cleaned up. Just kind of zigzag over the top. Spin it. Again. Okay, good to go. And then just a little bit of cinnamon sugar over the top. And everyone's gonna love this. This is, unless you're lactose intolerant, we won't even go there. But anyway, enjoy. Here we go. Tres leche cake.